Hello, everyone. Welcome to a quick overview of Andar software. So for those of you who are not familiar with the software, Andar software is a customer relationship management tool that was created specifically for United Ways to meet the unique needs of United Way. Okay, so what we're seeing right off the bat in the dashboard here, we've got a quick campaign overview showing us the number of donors this year, the total pledges that have come in, the dollars that have been received or payments received on those pledges. We've got some analysis where we can see what of those donations came through ePledge versus non-ePledge sources, number of donors over the years, a RUM comparison. So for those who aren't familiar with RUM, that refers to resources under management. So here we can see really easily that the designations leaving United Way are pretty consistent year over year as revenue has grown, which is a good sign. We're bringing in more money, but about the same amount is being designated rather than that increasing at the same time. Okay. So in addition to the campaign achievements that we typically think of with United Way, some of the things that Andar accommodates that are specifically helpful are things like donor choice. Okay, so most softwares, especially for fundraising, don't accommodate for allowing donors to designate where their money goes. So these types of things like telling us how much of that money is designated, being able to track where a donor designates, allowing them to designate to our internal service areas or initiatives, and being able to tell the system whether that should be included in our RUM dollars or taken off the top. That's something that's fairly specific to Andar 360. You also have the flexibility to say what donors are allowed to designate to or not allowed to designate to. So that's unique by customer. You can set those settings. And then we also have the tools that allow you to track what of those designations have been paid out, how much is still outstanding, and how that impacts your overall ability to allocate funds out in the community. Okay. The other side of that is unique to United Way as well, is that not a lot of fundraising agencies are both the fundraiser and the funder. So within Andar, we also have what we call our community building module, which allows you to track your impact areas, what agencies and programs you fund in each impact area, and then you can even manage your different applications, track your allocation amounts, issue allocation letters, everything straight from Andar. Okay. Again, that's an additional module, but you do have that option available to you. Other things that you can do with Andar, if you're not familiar, you can issue your tax receipts for your donations. We've got a dashboard for that that explains the process for creating issuing receipts. You can build your template right in Andar so that when you run the job, it generates a PDF for you. That comes standard with Andar. There are also a number of enhancements that you receive if you purchase any of our e-community modules. Okay, so our e-community modules include anything web-based, such as ePledge, iAttend, iAccess, eVolunteer. Any of those web modules will then also give you the ability to email out your tax receipts, your statements. So we've got a statements dashboard here as well that I can send out statements to anybody who owes money. With that ability to email out those receipts and statements, we also have a click and pay option on those statements. So again, while most systems may allow you to generate statements, if you have in particular our ePledge module, not only can you email out the statements automatically, but they can click on a link in that statement, be taken to a page on the portal that shows them how much they owe. And if they owe for multiple years, it will break that out for them and they can see how much they owe on each of their commitments and make a payment right there. That payment then shows straight in your envelopes within finance, and the money just goes through your merchant, and you then have the money received. So it takes out a lot of that middle work that we're seeing people do when they send out paper statements still. Okay. In addition to those finance functions of being able to process transactions, process designations, run receipts and statements, we also have the ability to send out thank you letters directly from the system. You can set up different thank you letter templates based on donor amount, by special campaign. You can even set them up by source code. The system allows you to create source codes to track special initiatives. Say you have an initiative for Giving Tuesday that's coming up shortly, or Martin Luther King Day. You can put a source code right on the direct mail solicitation you're sending, or on an ePledge link that you're having people donate through, and that will stamp that source code on those transactions. So number one, your reporting on those initiatives is better, but you can also customize things like the thank you letters to send out a very specific message to those people who chose to give through that campaign. Okay. Some other dashboards here. So churn, again, related to campaign. The system is going to track for you how many people have increased, how many donors this year are flat, how many lapsed donors do we have, how many have decreased, and how many are new. And it breaks out for us, how have people chosen to give over the years? Are they an employee donor, an individual donor, other campaign, other non-campaign? We're also increasingly getting requests to accommodate things like special campaigns. So if you weren't aware, if you have ePledge, not only does that allow you to give through workplace giving, but you can also set up some really beautiful single page registration and pledge pages that you can connect to your website. And over the last several years, we've also implemented the ability to give through workplace special events in ePledge. And more recently, we now have tribute gifts as well. So up here, we've got a search item. If I go to special, there's workplace special events in finance. This is all managed via the web. And donors are able to go and see all of the special events that are set up for their workplace. It works almost like a shopping cart. They can choose what they like. That donation goes directly into Andar for real-time feedback. Okay. We also, new just in the last couple of years, have something called tribute gifts. Okay. So if I go to tribute gifts here in my main menu, you can set up a link on your website that allows people to say, hey, it's my birthday. Instead of gifts for me, I would like a link that allows me to send that link out to my friends and say, please, instead of a gift, make a donation to United Way. You can then approve those. So there's an approval process here where you would say, yes, that is a good fit. It triggers an email to that requester with their own customized link. They can customize the welcome message, and then it actually tracks for you all of the transactions that have come through and who the tribute person is. Okay, so that's new, just in one of our latest service packs. So always continuing to grow that. We also have some new initiatives that we've been working on with some of our customers around Tocqueville donors. So do watch for that. There's a Tocqueville portal coming out soon. The other really great thing about Andar is not only are you able to track donations coming through the system and their designations, you can also track the other ways that you are engaging with your stakeholders. So whether that's events, so we do have event management, you can set up event accounts in the system, whether those are paid or free. So here I've got my annual meeting. I can see all of the occurrences that has happened over the years. In 2025, I can see who actually attended or who has registered. And I can send out all of my invites, my follow-up emails, confirmation, everything through Andar. So it's all in one place. I don't even have to create additional mailing lists or anything. When I go into this particular account. And let me just open it up. It's probably going to open in another window. But let's go to my CN Tower Climb. Okay. When I go into that event account and I go to the attendance record, here I can see everybody who's been invited to the event. There is a send email option right here. So I can tell it that I want to send those folks an email or I want to send them a text if I have their cell phone numbers. And I can say, here's the mailing list I want to use. Dump those people into this mailing list. But in this case, I only want to send to the people who are invited, who've not yet registered or indicated that they can't attend. It is going to generate that mailing list for me. So let's just grab a pretend mailing list there. I hit generate. It's going to put those folks into a mailing list, create a usage, and it pops up and asks me which template I would like to send. Okay, so I don't have to run a report and manually create anything. I've got it ready to go right here. Okay, so likewise, something changes with my event and I need to notify people that the venue has changed due to weather. Same thing, I can run that send email and send it out to anybody who is already registered. This option to track event attendance and communicate with attendees is available even if you don't have the web module for this. But if you did purchase the iAttend module, then you would also have the ability to collect registrations online. And again, that is whether those are free events or paid events. You can sign up teams. There are different survey options, all kinds of things available. Okay. In addition to event attendance, we can also track volunteerism. So we have some great new dashboards around that. Ooh, there's one called New Volunteers. That's not exactly what I'm looking for, but still there. One of the great new functions that we have, and I'm going to demonstrate it by grabbing a new volunteer dashboard, is that when you go to user customization, bio tab, and dashboard maintenance, there is now an option to get dashboards directly from our support center. So there's an install from Andar option. So here are all of the dashboards my coworkers have made. Here are the ones that Andar has made that are available to me. So if I'm looking for one for volunteerism, I can scoot through here. What am I looking for? And I know there's a beautiful one. It's called eVolunteer, but you can use it even if you don't have eVolunteer. So I'm going to import that. I do have it. We're going to replace it. And now it's available on my dashboard. Okay. So in the system, you can track different opportunities, whether those are for your United Way or for your partner agencies. You can categorize those by service category, by the type of opportunity. You can track the actual volunteers that you have, including teams that are coming from workplaces. And you can now calculate the value of those hours. There's a new enhancement that just came out last service pack where you can put in the dollar value issued by United Way Worldwide, and the system will calculate for you based on the number of hours your volunteers have contributed this year. This is how much that monetary value is for you. Okay. So again, we can track who are our most popular assignments. Where do we still have openings in opportunities, activities, when are our busiest months, when are our slowest months. And down here, this was something I was always asked for at my old United Way, volunteer giving. So who from our board is actually a donor, who is not, how many are leaders, how many are not leaders. Again, this is a test database. There's not a ton of information here. But here I can see that this person is a leader, these people aren't. I can click on it. It's going to show me who those people are and which opportunity they participated in. Okay. So to take a quick look at how that works, let's say that Griffin Place is one of our partner agencies. I can go to their account and I can go to opportunities and I can set up an opportunity for them, or I can view one that they already have. So here they have helpline volunteers that they're soliciting for. When I open that up, I can see all of the details. Again, this is all customizable to allow you to track any details you might possibly want to track. And then I can see who's actually been assigned to this. So again, you can do this for your own United Way volunteers, but also for your partner agencies. The other great thing about this is you can then also set up the hours that are being allocated for these individuals. So if Stacy came out and it was 2 hours, I can set that to either be automated in the system that when she volunteers, it automatically assigns 2 hours, or I can go in and I can manually assign those hours, or there's also an option to mass add hours. So for example, if you're board members, every other Tuesday, they have a 2-hour board meeting. You can highlight all the board members, say mass add hours, and add 2 for that particular meeting, and just exclude anybody who didn't attend. Okay. Again, that's all going to show on that dashboard for you. And these options, again, are available in base Andar, even if you don't have the eVolunteer module. Okay. Couple of new things to highlight. We also now have an option to track minors who are volunteering. So if you have eVolunteer, there's an option on the web when people are registering to indicate if they are a minor or if there are minors that are part of their team. And on the opportunity, you can set whether minors are allowed to volunteer, but we track those a little separately. It recognizes that we don't necessarily want to track their email addresses, things like that. Okay, so that's new. There is now also an additional option where you can track item value. And this was a new enhancement that one of our customers requested, where you can track if you're doing product drives, you can say what year it is by label, what is the item. So if it was a backpack drive, for example, you could have backpacks, you could say how much they're worth and how many were donated. You could track the number of calculators, etc. So you can track all of the materials that were received. You can then also track the distribution. So who received these? So we did a backpack drive. That's our opportunity. In 2025, we have full backpacks and 150 of them were distributed to this community center. Okay, so it allows you to track what's coming in and what's going out from those product drives. And again, even if you don't have eVolunteer, all of those options are available too. The really great thing then that ties all of this together, so our ability to track who we're funding and what they're doing, our donors, our volunteerism, our event participation, is that when we go to look at an account, so let's go look at one of our corporate campaigns, American Bearings. When I go to their account and I click on volunteer, I can see all of the employees of that organization who actively volunteer with me so that I can report back to them, hey, in addition to the campaign you ran for us, here are all of your employees who volunteer for us. And we can also look at the roll up if they have subsidiary accounts. We can allow employees to self-track hours if you have eVolunteer. So maybe there's opportunities outside of your United Way that they're engaged in at their children's school or something like that. They can track those. You can go grab those reports and present back to the company to apply for different volunteer grants, demonstrate engagement, things like that. Okay. This volunteer activity then shows on the agency where the opportunity is occurring. It shows on the employer of the person who's volunteering, and it also shows on the individual who is volunteering. So you add it once and it shows in all 3 places and can also be pulled into your dashboards and reports really easily. Okay. The same is true of event participation. So under general, we have event attendance. We can see what events did this organization participate in, but we can also see who of their employees came out and participated in events. Okay. And that's just to touch on one of or some of the millions of things that Andar can do, such as tracking leadership automatically, helping you to track foundation gifts using memo gifts that will automatically allow the donor to be recognized as a leader, even though the gift is processed on an organization account. We have prospects that you can track who you have for prospects, whether organizations or individuals. If I go pick on Rial, hopefully you guys remember Rial, our old owner. He's going to pop up on my other screen. But when I go to Rial's account, I can go and I can see that he is a prospect for planned giving, also a young leaders prospect. I can see what he's interested in, if there is any competitive giving that he has. So all those things. And again, I can go look and see, hey, Rial is a major giving prospect. Has he been attending our events? Has he received any awards? What are his demographics? Does he volunteer with us or any of our partner agencies? So all of it is in one place and accessible from multiple places within Andar. Okay. Then, in addition to our base module, we have a ton of integrations. So we can integrate with MailChimp or Constant Contact so that your communications going out through those tools are automatically updated in Andar. We've got a dashboard for that as well. Dashboards happen to be my favorite thing. We can integrate with surveys. So sorry, integration is the wrong word. With surveys, if you have any of our e-community modules, you can send out surveys. They can be embedded in different web pages. You can email them out. You can have them on your website, and that information is then tracked on the appropriate account in Andar. We have a designations portal that, again, if you have any e-community module, you are able to send out your donor choice payouts and trigger an email to the receiving agency that they can log in and see exactly how much they're getting, who the donors are, run those reports, instead of you having to manually send all of that information out. Okay, so it really is a 360 tool, really designed to work with and for United Ways and the very unique ways that United Way engages in the community, both as a funder, as a fundraiser, as an advocate, being a hub for volunteerism, hosting events, and it can all be tracked in one place instead of having multiple tools that you then have to try and piecemeal that data together. So I hope that touches on the things you're interested in learning about Andar. Again, highly encourage you, if you have questions, reach out to your salesperson, book a live demo, ask questions about the additional modules or the specific functionality that you're interested in. And we're always happy to meet with you and address those or show you the specific pieces you're interested in. All right, have a wonderful day.